Okay, so for today's power up, I'm going to do two problems that I think are um, some of the more difficult ones. So the first one is going to be number 3. I have 7 times the square root of 288 x squared. Now to solve this, the first thing that we're going to do, I like to factor out 288 because I need to find out everything that I can liberate from underneath the square root sign. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my factor tree so I can find the prime factorization for the number 288. And I know that if I know that this is going to be 2 times 144. Remember, I'm going to circle 2 because that's my prime number. And I happen to know that 144 is 12 times 12, which actually I can stop now because 12 times 12, that's your perfect square. 144 is your perfect square. So let's go ahead, let's go back to here. We're going to call this 7 times the square root of 144 times 2 times x squared. Okay, I did it like that because lightning yellow. Because 144 I can liberate now because I know that the square root of 144 is 12, and x squared I can liberate because I know that the square root of x squared is x. So what I'm going to end up with is 7 times 12 times x times, and now I cannot liberate that 2. So I'm going to have to keep that underneath the square root sign. So it's 7 times 12 times x times the square root of 2. 7 times 12, 7 times 10 is 70, 7 times 2 is 14, 70 plus 14 is 84, so this equals 84x square root of 2. Okay? So that is how we do that. Now let's take a look also at number 6, because that seems like it's somewhat more complicated than what you all are used to. So I've got the 2x squared. I'm going to open another set of parentheses. X to the 4th, close this, raise this one to the 3rd, and then raise the whole thing to the 3rd. So when I'm simplifying this, I'm going to start by simplifying some stuff on the inside. Now, when I raise a power to a power, it's multiplication. So let's keep the 2x squared during this step and raise this to this power. So I'm going to multiply the 4 times the 3, and I'm going to get x to the 12th, and then everything is raised to the 3rd power. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that 3, I'm going to raise the 2 to the 3rd power, I'm going to raise the x squared to the 3rd power, and I'm going to raise the x to the 12th to the 3rd power. So 2 to the 3rd power is 8. X squared to the 3rd power, since I'm raising a power to a power, that's going to be 2 times 3, which is x to the 6th. And then 12 times 3 is x to the 36th. Now, the x to the 6th is multiplying by the x to the 36th. So I'm not raising a power to a power anymore. What I'm doing now is I'm multiplying x to the 6th times x to the 36th. So what I'm going to do now is now I add. Now this is going to be 6 plus 36, right? So I'm going to end up with 8 times x to the 42nd power. And those are the two that I'm doing from today's power up.